is actually the War of Races map creator. I don't know if you've seen that out there at all.
Oh,
and Quirky Turtle, who's a pal. So, all right, basically.
I downloaded the game, so I wasn't able to join right away.
Medio, sorry, I have to kick you. All right, so this is Survival Chaos, and do you kind of know like anything about it at all, or do you just want me to just straight up go and do my explanation for you?
Hardcore explanation, bring it on.
Okay, so the way that this game is set up, it's a free for all. So you're gonna get basically I think there's 21 races now in the game because they just added a new one for 3.9. The pandas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the chaos mode, which is what most people play this at, and it basically means you're gonna get one of the 21 races at the beginning of the game, and then we'll kind of go from there, but we'll start it up. Don't just click, you will target you every game. Yep, right. I don't really target people that much in this game unless it's like at the end of the game when I know I'm gonna win. But okay, so you see all those banners up on the upper right? Those like correlate to the races, yeah.
Alright. Thank you, Crackington, for throwing out Please stream for me.
Yeah, also he did yours in my chat, so thanks for that, Croc. Yeah, go follow her, guys.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah, if anybody's here that's not already a part of Cleek's stream, please follow him too.
Appreciate that. So what this game basically comes down to is you're gonna basically be auto spawning army, except for yo Wrangler Ringtail, thank you for the follow. Except for your heroes. And it's basically like you're the commander of your army, and you're trying to upgrade their attack, their ranged attack, their defense, and like your buildings, fortifications throughout this like big war with the other three races that you're against.
Okay.
So in the beginning of the game you'll have this will start up. I'm gonna choose the mode, which is chaos.
Alright.
And let's see what you got. So you got Lordaeron, which is human. That's good. That's like a pretty standard basic race. Like they're normal. Like, so if you click on your main building, which will be your fortress, I believe, like in the middle of everything.
Okay.
You can look up on the top left and it'll tell you what your race like specialties are and what they do, what they're kind of like geared towards. Human are balanced, like they get +4 to defensive upgrades, so that's like their straight race trait specialty. Mine is Dark Horde, which is like a spell resistance and attack based race, so that's going to be something to keep in mind, like as you're playing different games. It's like every game is going to be different. Now next thing before the game starts, you have this building that's under construction. Okay. And it's got a bunch of different bonuses in it, and this is where the fun part of the game really comes in. Like you're picking a bonus. You only have 30 seconds left to do it, but I would suggest getting the Stormguard crossbowmen, which are like in the upper right hand corner, I think. They're probably your best bet in this game. Let me think here. You see them?
Yeah.
Okay. So you click on them, and then it upgrades that building, and that's your bonus. Now you have your archers getting replaced with those guys. And every single time you play this game, it's gonna be different. Like you'll have a different race, they'll have different bonuses, and you kind of like read them, and then you see what you want to play against, like the other people who you're playing against. Some races have mechanical units and organic units. Some just have organic units. Some have specialties and other things that you want to play. You want to make your bonus be the best against them at. What your bonus is going to do though is it's going to be able to take down air units. really well.
All right.
So the next part of this game is, you see like the 3 buildings that are called your barracks?
Yep.
Okay, so you can upgrade those on the top right to level 2, level 3, and level 4. Each level is going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's going to make your army cooldown that's coming out of the building, it's going to cut that cooldown like off a little bit, and it'll spawn a tier 2 unit, then a tier 3 unit, and a tier 4 unit.
Says also talk about the troll bonuses is better, she knows about those.
Hengor, my viewer wants you to know about trolling bonuses which are in this game. Don't like get upset if somebody plays them sometimes, because they're literally trolling bonuses to try to either make the game crazy and chaotic, like what it's called, or some of them are fun, but just be wary of that. Like sometimes there'll be weird shit that happens in this game, and you'll gradually know why it's happening, and it's usually because of trolling.
Okay, so in the beginning, is there anything I wanted to do specifically?
So the other thing about your fortress is it can upgrade your melee attack, your ranged attack, your armor, and your fortifications for your building, as well as your magic. Basically, that's kind of up to how the game is played throughout the whole time. Like, you want to get those kind of to either react or you want to either be reactive or I guess aggressive towards your enemies, and depending on that style, like, of your play, is going to depend on what kind of upgrades you want to give them. Okay. Like I said, for human, they're pretty balanced, so getting attack and defense kind of at the same time-ish is going to be good. There are certain moments in your lanes where you're going to want to push things differently. Like, so like, for example, if I'm on a counter push against you, like, and I'm pushing in your lane farther into it, I'm going to want to just get attack upgrades, because it's going to just keep putting pressure on you. And then when you're attacking me, like when you're close to attacking me, I'm probably gonna want more defensive upgrades, because then I'll be able to soak up more damage from you.
Somebody in my chat says you're
sort of makes sense.
You're talking big strats on the first play.
Not really. Okay, kind of, but I guess that's a little bit more advanced stuff. Anyways, just kind of upgrade your units the way that you're only gonna really learn how to do it by playing. So I would say just start off with getting your barracks to tier 2, all of them, and then we'll go from there. As long as all your barracks are up to tier 2, then we can talk about other strats. Because then there's some people who will rush like tier 3 middle and try to gain all the middle gold from people. And there's some people who will send a hero there quickly. So yeah, we can get to that in other games, but if you have any questions as we're moving, just let me know. For me right now, I want to focus on getting a lot of attack upgrades, but I'm gonna kind of balance the Dark Horde, which is just so I don't really take anybody by surprise in this game. Once you get your fortress to level 2 as well, you can do that up on the upper right hand if you're clicked on it. On the upper right side of your like where your attack upgrades are. You can upgrade it to tier 2, and then you can start sending heroes out. Oh, and like, so you see how my units on your left side are kind of close to the barracks?
Yeah.
If you ever need extra units to come out to protect you, you can send extra units out from your barracks, but it costs a little bit of money to make them. Like, you're probably gonna need a couple of extra units. And you also, in your main building, you have what's called a tier 1 spell on the bottom left of it, which is basically gonna like damage my units. So yeah, send out a couple extra units. Okay. And then go into your main building, and you can see on the bottom left how it's got like I think arrows for human. Yeah, you can use that spell to use a little bit of mana, and yeah, it'll help you push out faster. When your fortress gets to level 2, you get a tier 2 spell, which is like a full. It does like a bunch of damage around your fortress and all the barracks. So like if you're ever getting triple teamed or double teamed in the lanes, then you can just use that spell and it'll wipe out all the units around you. And you'll get a ton of gold and can go from there.
All right. Do you want to push upgrading your main town hall quickly?
You can, yeah. That's to basically get to the second tier of upgrading. Like if you see, we haven't discussed this yet, but in your towers, there's a lot of upgrades in there that you can unlock as soon as that fortress gets to level 2.
All right.
So that's kind of like the next phase. That's like phase 2 of the game. Phase 1 is really a lot for me is basically surviving, just getting to the next phase of the game.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because if you die in the beginning, then you're
there's
gonna
no
be
point
in trouble for the rest of the whole game.
Yeah, there's no late game if there's no early game.
Exactly. Let me think. What else can be useful for you to know? In each lane, there's 2 buildings that you can see that are kind of like pumping out gold, and they have different things that they do for your army passively in that lane. Like our lane. Also, watch my defense against, like if you go to my base on the left, see how I'm kind of like I'm gonna send out a unit gradually just to sort of time things to make sure that like you don't hit my barracks, but also that I'm like kind of timing it with my timer above the barracks so I get an extra spawn out soon. And I'm not using too many extra units. Like I'm not buying a ton of them, because then you can end up feeding people, and your army is actually pretty strong right now. Though I'm gonna have to buy a lot.
I scaled a lot of defense just because I was getting attacked early on.
Yeah. Human, yeah, they're very balanced and. Are you Fortress Tier 2 yet?
Yes.
Let me ask you that. Alright, you're gonna want to get an upgrade called, it's like Ward Bear or Banner Bear or something. Or no, it's Royal Ward Bear or something. It's got a little flag, and it sends out an extra unit every 2 waves.
That's on the main town hall?
That's on your towers.
Oh, towers, sorry.
Yeah, because if you're Fortress 2, now you unlocked all your tower upgrades.
Okay.
So like I said, like depending on your playstyle right now, it's sort of like, where do you want to get a lot of income from? Middle, your side lanes, or like do you want to be aggressive and just attack people? Is put on like a relentless barrage of attack on them and just keep upgrading your main attack. It all depends on like the kind of player you are and like your strategy in that particular game.
Weird. I lost one right away.
That's okay. You're just gonna have to keep like playing and like eventually you'll understand how to defend your Raxes better and what you can do to make sure they don't die so quickly. Use those tier 1 and tier 2 spells like if you need to. Man, I didn't bully anybody. That's you guys. I didn't take her out.
You're saying that you're bogging down the new player too much, Cleagy boy. That's exactly what they said in my chat.
They said what?
That you're bogging me down with too much, I guess, right off the bat.
Too much?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think I follow, for the most part, what you're saying. Does each tower have to be upgraded to that flag every time? Or are the different levels of the flag? Okay, yeah, there are. What are the upgrades max out at?
It depends on the tier of the game and what race you are, but usually 999. And then you can get 3 magic upgrades too.
If I'm vulnerable on one side, how does that work out? Am I just totally vulnerable there and I have to just use my castle spells to defend that side?
So there's a thing you can do now, and you can get something called Mana Shield, which is in your ultimate weapons, which basically what you need to do is get 4 fortifications on your buildings. Try to use a hero in that lane. Like, you see that you can make heroes in that middle barracks?
Yeah.
Okay, so when a wave comes in to fight you on your fortress, so you're not like getting pelted by units all the time on that right side now, send a hero and it'll be able to defend that lane for you. It'll just like aggro to that lane when there's enemy units that are by you.
Okay.
If that makes some sense. Watch your left side too.
Yeah, I see that. I'm trying to...
So yeah, if you're gonna defend your barracks with a hero, try to send him out a little bit earlier than that, so he'll soak up all the damage for you.
Okay.
But that's like a common way to defend for yourself. So now you got people coming on your right side, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is send like Uther, who's your tank hero, to fight those units first when they're in your base, and then he'll kind of gradually just move to the right with the units that are there.
Okay.
It's called redirecting. Like, that's what it's redirecting your hero into a lane that you want him to go into.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes like I don't know if I'm explaining too crazy, so you can slow me down.
I think so far I've been able to keep up. So, there's a lot to look at the first time you play it's, you know, a game. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know. It's different every game you play, and it's kind of complicated, so it's gonna take a little while, but you'll get it. So yeah, keep trying to get your buildings to 4 fortifications. Like, yeah, send Uther on some meanies who are in the right side of your base.
Yeah, he decided to just keep going straight.
No, okay. That's okay. So you still have one more hero that you can use, right? Antonidas?
Yeah.
So you're gonna probably need to use him and try to re-aggro him to that other lane. It takes some time to learn redirection for sure, so don't worry about it. And every time you keep playing this game, you'll learn a little bit more and a little bit more.
Yeah. I think the hardest part is like where to start. So I think this is a good step in the right direction for me anyway.
Yeah, because like now you know, like, damn, I just probably maybe needed to save a spell for that defense on right side, or maybe I use a hero like you did to defend my side. It all just depends on the game.
Mm-hmm. Just makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, like, these guys who are in the game, they know what they're doing pretty well. So they're the ones who are bullying you. I haven't tried to do anything mean to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Tibzilla in my chat said this game is ruthless for noobs, can confirm. So, it's just gonna take some time. And I even, like, I lose my barracks all the time in the beginning of the game. It just happens.
So I guess like a large part of this is also monitoring the enemy and seeing how their army is defending against your army, right?
Exactly. Like if somebody goes for attack on you, maybe you try to match them, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do weird strategies in this, so like sometimes you'll only see defense upgrades. Why do you guys keep going to my mid? Get the fuck out of here. Okay, so right now I have a hero in middle, and that's usually like a good way to gain a lot of gold depending on what other tiers your enemy is. Like, and you can usually you'll be able to tell what tier your enemy is against you, like depending on the units that are in their wave.
Okay.
You might want to think about going hero on your left side right now, if you have one, because that's pretty... Yeah, there you go. Try to soak up some damage with Antonitis. You could send a couple of units. The mages are going to spawn from the back. Your footmen will spawn from the front. Like you're in your barracks when you're looking at your unit spawns. The melee units will spawn in the front of it, and then the ranged units will spawn in back of your barracks. Just to keep that in mind, like when you're defending.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense. The range, you don't want them to get, you know, taken out immediately.
You're at 4 fortifications now, so in your main building, you want to get your ultimate weapon, which is on the bottom right. Like, third tile over.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to get a mana shield, which is in there. Once that's done researching, you'll see you can click on it, and then it'll bring up a bunch of options to choose from. And you're going to get mana shield so you can live. So we can make you survive.
Good. So you want to kind of like hold back on your hero and wait until like a wave gets too close to you. Or if you're trying to push, then do send the hero, right?
Yeah, like you'll push against my lane now on left side for sure.
Do you want to use it more as a defensive option then, and like kind of hold off in case you need him?
For heroes, yeah. I mean, unless you're really aggressive, which are some people. I mean, you could send heroes, but they cost 1,000 gold, so that's a lot to invest in something. And you want to make sure you're getting the most out of it, and like getting it a lot of levels when it does actually go out. So the next time you send it, it's like way stronger, and you get more out of it then too.
Okay.
No, I gotta get better at explaining this game anyways, so this is good. Sooner or later, we'll teach you how to redirect heroes inside your base, and then that's gonna just up your defensive capabilities even more.
Sounds good to me.
Wonder how Uyar is doing against me. I went tier 4 on him mid. So I'm trying to be mean to them and not you, I promise.
No, you're fine. So, your primary you probably wanna like upgrade your right and left, or like north and south, but whatever side your main enemy most of the frontliner, because the frontliner is gonna be distracted by the other teams anyway. So that's the last barracks you probably wanna up, right?
What, mid?
Yeah.
depends. It depends, like, because maybe you want to gain as much gold as you possibly can from mid. And then if you tier up faster than the other players do mid, then you might be able to get a ton of gold from middle. But that's a whole different, like, strat. But yeah, I would say primarily in the beginning of you starting out, make sure that your side lanes are not going to get blown up. There's also the chance that somebody ups you mid too. But most of the time, you're right. Like, you're not gonna have to worry about a big push from middle. Okay, so do you have that mana shield yet?
Pick up ultimate weapon. I don't think so. Where is the mana shield?
So it's right in the second row, third option over. It's a blue icon.
In your main town hall?
Yeah, like go to your main town hall, then click on your ultimate weapon. Then it should bring up a new page of stuff that you can
I see it.
click. Yeah. And grab that, and then when you get it, then turn it on. And then you can start going around the map and stealing heroes' mana, and then the mana shield's gonna protect you from now on for the rest of the game, and it's gonna convert mana into damage.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's gonna make you survive a lot longer. Oh boy. Alright, I got some big business mid now. I might get ultimate weapon too, because you see how it just revealed the whole map to you as well?
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that getting an ultimate weapon does. It just gives you sight. So also when you went tier 2 on your fortress, you should have been able to pick an aura for your race. I don't know if you did that yet.
I have not. Which one would you recommend?
For you, Brilliance Aura is going to be awesome because it's going to give you more mana as well. Shit. No. No, I'm gonna get clapped now. Yikes. Alright, so you're pretty set, I think, for, you know, just like kind of surviving, learning a little bit more about how the game progresses. So like, another thing to keep note of is like when your fortress is only level 1, it can only upgrade your attack and defensive moves 3 times each. Mm-hmm. For human, it's 4 for defense, 4 because they get an extra for their racial, and then 1 magic. So every time you upgrade your fortress, you're going to be able to continue upgrading like your regular main upgrades.
Okay.
It goes 3, 6, and then 9.
That makes sense.
Alright, let's see if can do some damage to these guys. I'm actually in pretty rough shape right now. Man, we are friends, Quirky, but ugh. So you've only lost your right side so far, right?
Yeah, and the towers that correspond with it.
Yeah, that's usually expected when you go a mana shield strategy. Something to also keep in mind is that when you lose a barracks, you know how the spawn timer kind of like increased incredibly?
Yeah.
That's actually gonna starve the right side player for gold, because they're not gonna get as many units from your lane. So sometimes it can be good to lose araks, but that depends.
I think it sounds like a risky move.
Yeah, it definitely is. Man, I just brought the pain to Goblin. Don't worry, we're gonna get through this. Once you're at a point where you have like 2,500 gold, and you're like, man, I really feel good about the research that I've been doing and everything my army's up to, you can upgrade your fortress to tier 3, and that's gonna allow you to summon a super unit from your barracks, which is just your 4th hero, and it's a really, really strong one.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, most of this stuff you can kind of pick up by just either playing more games or just watching people do certain things, because that's how it took me a very long time to be able to play this the right way, and I'm still learning every single game that I play.
I think any game with depth actually has that. You kind of, learn something not only about the game, by playing yourself, but also from other people.
Yeah. Like, I let my chat backseat me all the time because they know, like, sometimes I'm just, like, not even thinking about something, and then they'll be like, yo, this race does this, you should do that. And it makes me a better player through that, too. So hopefully, when and if you're playing this without me, hopefully you get some people from, like, mine or Kirian's community, and they can help you out too.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Like, I would actually, like, if I was trying to explain a certain thing to you, it would be a lot easier for me to do it while I'm, like, playing a game and showing you, like, on my stream too, or whenever. Because, like, redirecting heroes is gonna make you 100 million times better at this game, and it's it's necessary to be able to actually get to the point where you're playing against good players, because they'll all know how to do it. And basically what that is you're redirecting damage from your barracks to other buildings in your base that are less important, I guess. That makes sense. So you can move heroes and waves of damage to, like, towers instead of your barracks to soak up damage. It's kind of like using buildings instead of heroes to do it.
That makes sense.
Alright. So let's see what's going on in your base. I need to get an ultimate weapon so I can kind of help you out a little bit more. I had to send a hero on you, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
But basically what you can do is I'm just going to give you a quick explanation, is like, you can tell your barracks to focus hitting my creeps, which are just my normal units, by right-clicking on my normal units from your barracks, and then that barracks will just be hitting the other units, and it'll tell, like, my units to go and attack your towers or something, because your towers are hitting my hero, and they're like, oh man, that's gonna aggravate them. Man, oh man. So I'm such a bad teacher, but
No,
I'm
you're
trying, I
fine.
swear.
Well, like, anytime you're gonna teach somebody something new, there's gonna be a certain, like, learning curve and level of difficulty behind it. So you're not being a bad teacher, you're just you know, there's a lot here to look at.
Yes, there is. Yeah, I wish we could do like where we could like simulate the game and just keep doing phase 1 over and over again, so like we could learn that part. Make sure your mana shield is turned on. Because you see how if you are in your castle and if your mana shield isn't activated, you won't see a little blue bubble on like around it. So make sure that that's activated, because it's not going to soak up damage if you don't do that.
Which makes sense. At the time, I just needed the mana to be able to defend with an attack, so I didn't want to have it absorbing in my... I guess it was kind of a riskier move, but I figured my castle can handle a few hits.
Yeah, I mean, if you needed a tier 2 spell, that's fine too. Also be aware of the lag in this game sometimes. I don't know if you're getting any, but it gets a little nasty when there's when there's still 4 players in the game at this point. It can get a little choppy. Alright, I need Goblin to die. So yeah, that's your super unit. Hopefully he kills them, but I don't think it's gonna be in time. Oh,
nope.
Man. So yeah, like if your fortress wouldn't have blown up, then you would have probably that Gush guy right there. He would have probably went in Red's lane, and you would have been safe for a good amount of time longer. That was really what you needed to do, like with the first couple of hero sons when you lose your barracks that early, because it just keeps you alive longer and longer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's kind of, this is just like a different form of like chess. Just gotta make moves according to what your opponent's doing and answer. Oh god, I didn't realize I had a super unit mid.
Okay, so you don't lose until your last building's defeated, even if your main town hall is defeated.
Say that again?
So you don't lose until like your like all of your buildings are defeated.
Yeah.
Opposed to.
Yep. Okay, so I would kind of just like, yeah, if you ever lose, just kind of stay in the game and maybe just keep watching what other people are doing, so you can get a good grasp on what you want to do in the game the next time. Or like, here, let me ask you this: what did you learn that you could do different next time to make yourself not be in this position?
I think I upgraded my middle barracks first, and I probably should have upgraded the sides first. I think I would have upgraded. I was looking at all of the units' different attributes, so like what kind of armor they had, what kind of damage they dealt, and I was trying to like, I mean, if I could just see a unit and know what kind of damage it needed to I need to like spawn more of to be able to defend, I think that would have been better.
Yeah.
Just simple things like that that are pretty basic Warcraft mechanics, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think initially it's just that learning curve of understanding what does what.
Right.
My big downfall.
And I mean, holy cow. Yeah, the units that are like, and what their damage types are versus armor types, I mean, that's gonna help you like somewhat, but mainly, yeah, just learn the concepts of the game first, I would say, and what it's like.
And like, you know, like you said, the improving the masonry and improving like with what all my towers have to offer.
Yep.
And then, like you said, the redirection. I think my not losing my first barracks within the first like 2 minutes of the game probably would have also been beneficial.
Yeah, it's always rough when you lose your racks early. That's why I was like really hoping that people were nice to you, but you could just say that Uyar was a prick because he destroyed you so early. I don't know. Did he go tier 3 on you or tier 2?
I think he maintained tier 2 pretty long actually. Okay. I just that was the side that I didn't upgrade fast enough, I think, which was my primary problem.
Alright, we'll keep working on it.
Sounds good to me. I think it's kind of interesting that the super units maintain existence on the board even after everything you've been wiped out.
Yep. I mean, your heroes will stay. And depending on, like, you could really screw somebody over, too. Like, if you're at the end of the game and, like, you're mad at somebody, I've seen people send out all 4 of their heroes at the end of the game just to screw with somebody. And then they have to deal with that, and then you're dead, but they have to figure out how they're going to defend 4 heroes at once.
Mm-hmm.
You could be that kind of a person, but that's totally your idea. That's your call. Alright, let's see. So I guess I can explain sort of what I'm gonna do to defeat Uyar. He's got my super unit coming against him in the middle there, if you can see that. I need to defend top, so I'm gonna send a hero up there. Kind of like around that time, so now he's gonna, yeah, he'll go out with my whole wave, and I shouldn't get much damage at all on my top barracks. And send out a couple of things to help him too.
So depending on how far your army's pushed depends on if those gold producing buildings in the middle belong to you or belong to the enemy.
You can see how far your army is pushed by that, yeah. Let's see if Uyar can defend this.
Does that dictate how much gold you're producing? Like he produces more because if he had more than you did, or vice versa?
Yeah, it can. They each do like a certain amount. So like in the beginning of the game, they're gonna produce you more gold than like right now. It's weird how they work, but depending on if you have just somebody that's dead or not against you, like our lane, we would have produced 25 gold every 60 seconds per building in our lane when we were just like fighting each other. But now that I'm only fighting Uyar and he's all the way across the map and there's 4 buildings that I can get, like that I have control of now, each of them's only pumping out 5 gold per 60 seconds. So it's actually less at the end of the game than it is at the beginning.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to beat Uyar, but we'll see. He's Void Elf and they're very good late game. So I gotta be careful here. Your fortifications will also give you gold. I totally forgot to mention that. They give you 25 gold per 30 seconds every upgrade.
So that's what the tower's upgrade is, right?
It's actually in your main fortress. It was what you had to get 4 of, those fortifies.
Oh, okay.
For the mana shield. Yeah,
okay.
masonry.
Yeah. I was looking at your stream at the time and I forgot that there's a delay off of it because I was trying to see what you're doing as opposed to what you're telling me, you know?
Yeah. There shouldn't be. I hate that there's like a 2-second delay or something.
Yeah. I mean, it helps with the stream sniping, but it, you know, learning purposes
True.
doesn't always benefit.
I'm in a little bit of trouble here. I think he's gonna go, yeah. Now see how I just redirected that big old dragon to the middle? Oh crap. Okay, so what we just did was we both smited each other. It's another ultimate weapon that you can get. Instead of that mana shield, you could pick smite, and it will instantly kill somebody else's super unit.
And where do you find smite?
It's in that little catalog that you opened up when you were looking for the mana shield.
Oh, okay.
So it's just another option that you can get. It's more of a late game kind of I guess ultimate weapon, because it's going to be more useful now at the end of the game. Mana shield will keep you alive for basically ever though, if you really milk it.
Is there like there's a range on being able to steal mana from heroes, correct? So when your hero is close to my base is when I should have been doing that, as opposed to like trying to do other things like the attack. I probably could have stolen mana as you were attacking me and then stunned, or vice versa.
Yep. Yeah, you could steal mana whenever, and as long as you're not upgrading something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it gives you 100 mana every time you steal. And then you just gotta deal with cooldowns. Yeah, bot's gonna be in trouble right now. He's gonna beat me. He's like really ahead in research right now. I think he's got this one in the bag, but Dark Horde are good in the beginning of the game if you really want to press people offensively, but at the late game they're not as good.
So the you said the Dark Elves, was it? They're
Dark
good late
Horde.
game?
But the Void Elves are who Uyar is, and they're very good late game.
Okay.
So like sometimes just knowing what your race is gonna do at the end of the game, you can just be like, okay, I just need to survive to the late game, and then just keep getting research, keep surviving, keep making sure that I just barely or that I just can stay afloat. I just want to live, and then get to that end game, and your army will gradually just overpower other people.
Okay.
Why I super united you, Quirky? Because you had a massive wave on top that I could have used the regular hero, but I needed to get D-Wing some levels, man. The trouble is now Uyar has a lot more mana than I do. And yeah. And he's Void Elf. So I don't know what I'm gonna do against them. But yeah, if you're up for another one, I'll play another one with you, and we can just keep asking me questions, I guess, and we can keep going through them.
Yeah, I'd be down. I think,
Okay.
you know, repetition is one of the better ways to learn.
Exactly.
Out of sheer curiosity, what viewer was the one that told you what you asked me when I first hopped into your stream?
What was what?
What viewer asked you about Zoom?
Oh, I had been told by somebody named Noda, who he was like, I think they're dating. So I don't know. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I just didn't want to like verbally say it in case like some people were gonna get the wrong impression.
No, it's all good. I'm gonna lose, Shadow. I'm gonna lose. I don't know what to do against this guy.
Is 4 the cap on barracks, or is it just becoming more cost-effective not to upgrade?
No, once you get tier 4, that's the highest it can go. That would be cool if a race could go to tier 5. But once you get tier 5, you'll start to see that, like, you can't, or once you get tier 4, you can't even press the top right button anymore.
Or like if there was a tier 5 and they wanted to limit it in some capacity, only one of the 3 barracks could get it. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Like which side do you want to push the most?
I mean, yeah, like, and you can rush tier 4 on somebody's lane and do that kind of thing. If you want to push like top really quickly, but then you have to just think like, okay, if I rush tier 4 in one lane, then how am I going to handle problems in another lane? I'm using all this gold to bum rush somebody. You know, like, how am I going to protect my other side lanes? Okay. You get your second place, guys. There you go.
To be fair to you, I think you were trying to you know, take it easy on me more so, because he was upgrading his units as opposed to like the actual barracks themselves. I was watching quite intently at that stuff.
Yeah, always, yeah, keep your eye on what the enemy is doing, just like that, because that's going to be a good thing to do right away as a new player. It's good to hear that you're already doing it. Okay, I guess we should just move on to the next game. I don't do this very often, but I'm gonna run to my mommy. Okay, round 2,